right. Good morning. Welcome to the Urban Heat. R&B Talk. Steve Gooseby.
It's the Steve Gooseby Show. R&B vibes on the Urban Heat.
All right. I want you to welcome my special guest and co-host for the day. Give it up for Sataris. How you doing?
Hi. Hello, everyone.
I'm good. Make sure you're talking to that mic.
Okay.
Rule number one. Yeah. So, all right. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot of things going on, especially in the city of Boston. The violence is just crazy. And, you know, it's to the point where for a long time, man, it's like, you know, you get used to it, which is even a bigger problem because stuff happens and, you know, here's another one. So I want to talk about that. We got Chip Greenidge, who's going to call in later on. Chip Greenidge is from The Greatest Minds, and he does a lot of great work in the community. So we're going to have him on talking about the violence in Boston and some. We're going to get into dating. We're going to start that right now. A little bit about Black health. But if you want to join the conversation, give us a call, 617-238-7111. Or if there's something you want to talk about in particular, let's talk about it. It's R&B Talk on a Tuesday. You ready to go?
I am.
All right. So by the way, tell the folks about yourself if you don't mind.
So my name is Sataris. I am 53 years old. I have 3 children, 34, 30, and 26. 2 boys and 1 girl.
Grandkids?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So I have a 10-year-old granddaughter, and she comes up to my chin already.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also have to tell her sometimes, her name is Trin. I said, Trinity, I don't care how tall you get, but just know that I can still jack you up.
Listen, my grandson, his birthday was yesterday, and so I had all the grandbabies over.
Oh, good for you.
Oh my God, they was tearing the house up. And I just let them be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in terms of making a mess, you know, listen, do your thing. No, don't worry about it. I got it. I'm gonna clean it up. Nobody got to do nothing. But, you know, to me, those are moments that you're never, ever going to forget. I took pictures, I did videos. I mean, they're small, they running around, they screaming, they jumping, you know, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
My place was a zoo yesterday, for sure.
And that's a special moment,
right?
Because, you know, their childhood is what's going to carry them through life.
Oh, yeah, you remember that, stuff
right,
like that.
Exactly.
And the way they call me granddad, I'm telling you.
How they say it?
Hey, granddad.
So my granddaughter, she calls me Nani.
Yeah.
So, because I just felt like I was too young when my son had her. And because I don't really look my age, I didn't want her like, grandma, we in the store. People will probably look at me like I have 4 heads. Like, well, how old were you? Because I get that a lot.
Right.
Were you 13 when you had a child? But yeah, but one thing my dad says, he said the best part about having grandchildren is that you can send them home whenever you're ready.
Right. And I love that part about it. I tell you that right now. That's a beautiful thing when it's time for them to go.
They got to
I mean, they were really going off yesterday. I mean, they had a great time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we're
Did
streaming.
You interact with them when they
most definitely.
Good.
Most definitely.
Good.
I mean, when they first got there, my granddaughter was like, I'm hungry. Because she know whenever she comes by, I always got something for her to eat. But I knew they was bringing pizza. I said, food's coming, you'll be good. But when she walks through my door and she comes, she know I always got something for her, you know? And so she was like, I'm hungry. And she didn't want to wait. But nah, the beauty of the grandkids, I tell you something.
How many
else.
do you have, Steve?
I got 3 grandkids.
What, boy, girl?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Yeah, 3. I'm sorry. 1 girl, 2 boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Love them. I'm trying to fix this. I thought we were streaming on Instagram. I may have to, give me 1 second. I think I'm going to have to remove that and do it over. Let me just fix the Instagram stream, y'all. It looks like that's not going well right now, so I'm going to remove it. And I'm going to redo it. Give me 1 second, folks. But you can go ahead and continue telling folks about yourself, if you don't mind, while I do this.
Okay. So yeah. So I was married. I've been married for 25 and a half years.
Yep.
I'm going through a divorce currently.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I will be divorced by the end of this year. We're real close to an agreement. So I'm excited because I get the chance at 53 to start my life all over, figure out who I am as a person, the things that I like to do. And I get to smile more, which I love doing, and just mingle with people. So I'm trying to navigate through that and just see like where I'm going to end up. I am very old school in certain areas. And my morals, I have very high morals, and like my expectations are, well, one would think that they're high, that they're too high, but for me, they're not too high. It's just the right thing to do. So
gotcha. So let me ask you. So you're soon to be divorced.
yes.
And I don't know the story or anything like that, but are you all right with it at this point?
I am. I can actually.
And were you not all right with it? Of course, I would imagine that.
I wasn't. It took me. So we've been separated for 5 years, and I was a mess. Like literally, I was a mess.
Right.
It nearly took me 4 years to really accept it and to be okay with it.
Gotcha.
I had to do counseling, which helped me tremendously. And during the counseling, I found out that I have PTSD. So I took a class in that. And currently I'm in a PTSD class right now. And it's been great because it's been challenging me. I'm learning things that I didn't even know existed. So, but I am definitely okay. I can talk about it. I can smile about it. He and I are, we're cordial with each other. And even though our children are grown, I truly believe that regardless of what goes on between he and I, our children should not have to suffer behind us. So we still have family events. It's Christmas, he's over. They go out to eat together. He can come by the house and spend time with our children when they all come over. So we still take family pictures. So I'm big on family, period. And he is too. So we're good. We're good.
All right. So you wanted to talk about dating. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I'm hoping to learn something new too. Like I need help dating.
Well, listen, I don't know if you were listening Sunday. So Sunday we had a show. It was R&B. Actually, we do this probably every other month. R&B relationships from a man's perspective.
Yeah.
So we did it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we did a show on Sunday. And, again, everything is from a man's perspective. We're not ever bashing women. We're just simply giving our voice from a man's perspective. Some people understand it. Some people don't. Some people figure, nah, y'all bashing. No, we're never bashing. We're just talking. But with that being said, we also feel that that's part of the problem because often when we talk, a lot of women don't listen. They don't want to hear that.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems with women anyways. We don't listen.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Say that again. Say that again, please.
It's the truth.
Say that again.
I said, that's the number one thing with women anyways. We don't listen.
Why is that?
Well, that's a great question.
And you said it, so I want to know why. That's a great
question. I literally think because we've learned that behavior from the past generation, which is my grandmother's generation, right? But I think that's why, because women had to step up and do a lot of things and take care of certain things, and they were always calling the shots while the man was out there in the field working and just, so I think that's the reason why. It can be more than that, but to me, I think that was the foundation of where it started.
So back in the day, our parents and our grandparents, they was married. They had 3, 4, 5 kids.
No, not 3, 4. My grandmother had 17.
Oh, what? Hold
Three,
up.
3 sets of twins.
Wow.
Yes, huge family.
Man.
And my grandmother said it was she had it easier when she had the twins than taking care of just one child. Yes.
Wow. So those times were different compared to like right now.
Right.
So let me say this though, right? Because again, we're back at each other. Women, men this, men that, and the fellas, we tired of this and we tired of that. So we back and forth. But in all honesty, when you think about it, a lot of the argument is about tradition in terms of how it was and how it used to be.
Yeah.
I feel that because of the environment, the way things are today in 2026, the relationship almost has to be different. You can't go back off of our grandmothers and our parents back then, because back then, 2 incomes weren't, it was different times.
Right.
But today, everyone needs to work.
Yeah.
Everyone has to work today on the average, you know? So, I say that because the argument you hear a lot of the times that he's got to be a provider. Oh no, I ain't doing 50-50. You hear all those different things. But in today's world, you better somehow figure out how you can contribute something, because it's just different nowadays. I don't think anybody can do it by themselves unless you really got it like that.
Well, it takes a team.
And not many have it like that.
Right. So I can truly say, like, I was with my husband for 28 years, and 25 and a half, we're going through the divorce, but
shout out to Coach La tuning in from Jamaica Funk.
She's in Jamaica
Funk.
Oh my gosh, she just partied for her 50th.
Yeah, and
now she's in Jamaica.
Happy birthday, congratulations.
Girl.
Yes, but continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he was a great provider. He was a provider, and he learned that from his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good father. But sometimes in relationship, things happen. Like you said, it takes 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes 2 incomes. But what happens if someone gets sick and then that person cannot go out and work anymore? And so therefore, that person is home.
Mm-hmm.
And so the value that they bring at that time, if they can, and I'm actually speaking for myself, like this is really me, my life. I was diagnosed with MS 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, my daughter was just 6 years old. So it took me up and down till one day I just couldn't. My doctor took me out because I was just having so many flares.
Mm-hmm.
And that was and I declined, like I lowered my, the hours that I was working. I went from 40 hours to 15 hours, and working 15 hours a week, I was still having major flares.
Mm-hmm.
So it put a toll on our marriage. He became the breadwinner. He had to provide for all of us. And he went through a lot. And I tell you, my hat's off to him. He did a great job as being a provider. He took care of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I doing in the background? I wasn't working, but I tell you one thing, he had that same job for 17 years. And through the grace of God, God has allowed him to have that job. I was in the background praying for him.
So let me ask you, I just want to back up just a little bit, right? Because you said it yourself. We don't listen.
We don't.
Meaning you women, you don't listen.
And I'm one of those.
So I want to ask you,
was
not to dig all in your business, but we talking about it.
Oh,
right?
I don't mind. I'm open book.
So with that being said, is there anything you can go back to right now during that marriage where you wish you would have listened? Or is there anything back then that you could say to yourself now that I understand that? You know what I mean? I understand now.
Yeah.
You know.
So one of the major things, um, I've learned that words hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I have said some things to him,
Mm.
and I don't think he's ever gotten over it. You know, it struck a nerve.
Mm-hmm.
So when God says, you know, there's power in the tongue, you can speak life or death.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of
Very
times
true.
I was speaking death and didn't even realize it.
Mm.
So if I could go back, and the major thing, the one thing that I've learned is to be careful of what I say, because it can really hinder a person and bring a person down.
Yeah.
So I, going forward, like just now, like I'm not in a relationship, but just life period with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more careful of what I say, because I now realize that, ooh, that 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 can really end a relationship behind the words that you speak out of your mouth.
Right. And it does go both ways too, but
Absolutely.
but with you saying that, I listen, and I'm sure women don't forget either. When you say certain things,
Yeah.
we as men, we never forget.
Yeah.
We never forget.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point you will have to answer to that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know, especially if you're trying to, if you're trying to keep things together, you're gonna have to answer to that because it just doesn't go away.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Now, is it something that an apologies can fix? Of course. Of course.
Well, it
And
depends, because
yeah, it depends on what you said, I guess, right?
That too, in the type of person, how the person is, because he's the type. He's the type that he holds a grudge.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, "I forgive you," and then he'll say, "But I won't forget."
But that's
true. And that's true, right? Right. That's true. But he'll say he forgives you, but really he didn't. He doesn't. He didn't really forgive you,
right?
Because he's still angry. He's still mad, and his action shows it. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, but so it depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like me, I am very forgiving. I've been hurt. Stuff has been done to me, and I'll say, okay, I forgive you, and I want to move forward, because at the end of the day, I don't like him being angry at me, and I don't want to be angry at him. I'd rather be held,
Yep.
So by time we go to bed, I want to be okay. I don't want to go to bed angry and we're not speaking and all that stuff. Within an hour or two, I'm good. I'm ready to move forward.
Yeah.
But everyone's not like that,
So I'm gonna keep coming with these questions. I'm gonna keep coming with them. So most of us men, we're huge on what we call peace.
Oh my goodness! No, you didn't say that. That's what he used to say. Atari, I just want peace.
You know what?
I want peace. But he didn't realize that he was destroying his own peace. If you want peace, then why are you still doing the things that creates an argument?
Okay.
See, it goes both ways.
It does.
Right?
It does.
Okay.
It does. But it does goes both ways. But that is probably the number one thing on a man's list.
Yes.
If you're trying to get a man, if you're trying to keep a man, right? The one thing every woman should know and understand is a man's peace.
Is a man's peace.
So
Yes.
some women, like your reaction just now, oh my God, I've seen that and have gotten that, just doing the shows here. We see and hear that all the time. A lot of women still don't understand that, or they understand that, but they refuse to give into it.
Well, help us understand. Help me understand. What is peace? Because when you're the person creating the argument because you fail to respect your partner, and you're still doing the very one thing.
Before you even get to that, it's almost kind of like it's two separate things we're talking about here. So I'm gonna come back to that. I want to just address the peace first. I'm not disregarding that. I just think it's two separate things.
Okay.
To understand peace, you're not gonna understand it by thinking whatever the stuff did, whether it's true or not. But a man's peace is not lowering his stress levels at all in any kind of capacity. And I don't want to use the word don't nag him, but nagging can be a way of destroying a man's peace or bringing his peace down. I mean, there's a number of things. You actually, what is the most calmest moment with your man? When is he calm? You know, when do you, at what time, whether you're on vacation, I don't know, maybe it's in the bed. When is he at peace? Think about that first. When is he at peace? Why he's at peace at that moment? If there are ever those times, that's what you want in your man. He doesn't want to deviate from that. We don't want to deviate from that. Now, of course, things do happen. Your peace is going to be disturbed by things that are out of both of your control. You know, the pipes might burst in the house. Well, damn, I got to get this fixed. But that's a different type of disturbing of the peace. That's different.
Right.
You don't want your mate to disturb your peace. And you should be able to identify at all times if he's being stressed out over whether it's your questioning, I don't know. If women don't understand it, then I would just say it's not a hard thing to understand, but you have to at least be willing to listen, which is a big problem right there. If you're not listening, you're never going to understand a man's peace.
Well, I can truly say that I have been putting into practice listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was the type of person that was like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always came back with something. And so because of what I went through and, and going through this divorce, a lot of things came back to me. And I was like just reviewing myself of like how it was, what I did, So I no longer want to be that person. And so I've been trying very hard to put things into action so that I can make that change and make sure that it stays there, because I don't want to revisit how I was, in my past relationship. But, it takes two, though.
It does take two.
He was mostly at peace in the bed, or
of course
when he's playing his video games, or when he bounced to go golfing, go play basketball, so. But the peace wasn't really there with he and I together. Only
and once upon a time it was, and somehow it got lost in there.
Yes.
Something changed, right?
Yeah, right.
So I'm just gonna say that, right? I just lost my train of thought. But
he told me he has peace now. He told me he has peace now.
Mm-hmm.
He has moved on. He got a new relationship, and the person that he's seeing, I was really surprised. But he told me he has peace.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm happy for him.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think, that is probably the number one thing that when you go into any relationship, especially with a man, in 2026, you have to understand that element right there. But we do have a phone call. Who's this? Welcome to the Urban Heat. Good morning.
What up, Steve?
What's good?
It's Marv.
What's up, Marv? How are you, man?
Hey, chilling. I'm in Puerto Rico, and
hold on. Wait a minute, man. Like, Coach La's in Jamaica, you're in Puerto Rico, and I'm still in Boston.
Hello, that's what I'm saying.
What am I doing wrong today? Yo, man. Nah, go ahead, man.
So, I just want to say I was listening the other day, and of course, when you and Rico and but who else you had on with you? Because I wasn't watching, I was listening.
It was Eric Jones.
EJ, yeah. When y'all get together, it's very entertaining, and you guys, you don't hold back, and I love it. So I just want to say thank you for that. Satara.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
I appreciate your vulnerability.
Thank you.
Just listening to you, and you being able to say the things that you're saying. I mean, you know how you see a person and you think you know a person, but you don't really know them. But you only know them from seeing them, and you may know their name. And just listening to you, I would have never guessed that you would be this vulnerable and open in your communication in this conversation. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate your words.
I wish that all women would be able to find it within themselves to be this vulnerable and open and communicating and not placing blame. You sound as though you're taking responsibility. You said your ex was an incredible man, and I appreciate that too, because from what I hear a lot of times, women don't want to give credit for the guys that are doing the right thing, that have done the right thing. And just listening to you, it's very refreshing. So thank you again, Steve. As always, you do an amazing job. Continue to go work. And, Satara, I hope that we hear from you more.
You will. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marv. Right. Appreciate that, man.
Right.
But I mean what I said about Puerto Rico, man. What am I doing wrong, man? You got to help me out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm way too.
This was a year-long plan. Family cruise. We were in
beautiful.
Yesterday. We're in Puerto Rico today.
Love it.
We'll be at sea for 2 days, and then we go to the private island, and then I'll be back on the grind.
All right. Well, it's well deserved, man. Enjoy yourselves.
I needed this break, man. I was losing it. So.
No doubt. Yeah. Well, enjoy, man.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yep. And I want to say thank you as well, because I didn't know what to expect today. In terms of the show, I knew what we were going to be talking about, and let's keep it going. I think
yeah, absolutely.
I think that's part of the problem with some folks when it comes to dating, is that they can't be honest. A lot of people cannot look in the mirror, and that's on both sides too.
Yeah,
folks cannot look in the mirror. Some people cannot take accountability for anything.
Right,
like they did nothing wrong. Right, you know what I mean? And some people are just to the point where, for example, we had a call. Well, actually, she never called in, but we had a person on who was in the comments who, well, she claimed to be in a 16-year marriage. She claimed that she had a doctor. She made all these claims and even attacked us, saying that we had failed relationships. Of course, we've all had failed relationships. There's not a person that I know who hasn't been at our age. If you're with the same person since 16 or 18 years old, please call me right now, because that's a conversation within itself. Like, how do you do that?
Right.
I mean, we all learn from mistakes. So in order to go to the next phase, you have to have been in a failed relationship at some point.
Right.
You know? So in continuing our conversation, and I love where this has been going, because a lot of women, again, there's not a lot of accountability out there, and we are never bashing women. We are just simply, again, when we talk about R&B relationships from a man's perspective, we are just simply saying the things that do not often get heard on a one-on-one level. So let's continue that conversation.
Yes.
So you've admitted that women do not listen, and we've known that for a long time. You know,
that was one of my biggest problems.
Right.
One of mine, but I'm no longer that person. I've been taking what I've been learning. Like I said, like I have therapy every Friday, and it has truly been helping me. I went to a partial program, and I've just been challenged mentally, you know, and it brought a lot of things out. And some of the things that came out was different ways of mine. Wasn't just because solely of me. It was because of trauma that I've had in my childhood, you know? And so I can see things now, and I understand certain things. I can reflect back on things that I did, things that I said. There's maybe 2 things that I've said to him. I wish to God that I could just take it back, but I can't, because I already said it, right? And I didn't understand the hurt back then, but now I understand the hurt. And then it's like, so how can he really look at me as the same person after I hurt him? And even though he's hurt me too many times, but that one hurt, that 2 hurt that I may have done, just put a damper on things.
Gotcha.
You know? So
gotcha.
in doing Bible study, you know, God speaks very, very clearly about the power of your tongue, how it speaks the life and death.
Right.
And so I'm now being careful of the words that I use just in general.
Okay.
And I've been teaching my children, even though they're grown, but I share my experiences and I share the bad and the good with my children.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want anyone else writing my story to my children. My children hear everything from me. And then if anyone in the family says whatever, or if I die, whenever that comes before them, you know, they're not going to hear anything that they have not heard from me, you know?
Well, thank you for being open. I want to come back and revisit all of that. But right now I want to introduce to the people. Y'all know who he is. There's no introduction needed. What's happening, Chip, man? How you doing today, man? Good morning.
What's up, my man? Good to see everybody today. Yep, I'm in between of a summer program and also teaching a class at Harvard. So I had to jump right on here. I got like 15 minutes. I did a little interview and all that, but wanted to make sure that I got to see you. And then you put a beautiful person on the flyer, so I had to come up and show up today. All right, she is fine. She is fine. All right.
But Chip, I thought you was going to be here. I was excited to meet you.
She got dressed for you, my brother.
I was like, fine. All right, I got to show up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for coming on. You got 15 minutes, so let's get right to it, man. The violence in the city of Boston is just on a whole nother level. So I want to say this, and I know some people are going to be pissed, and so I'm going to put a little disclaimer out there.
Here we go.
Put a little disclaimer out there.
Here we go.
By no means am I saying I'm in support of Orange Man or whatever you want to call him, right?
Trump.
But I just want to make a point real quick. What he did with the National Guard, right, in Washington, D.C., and I forget the other places he did it, the crime dropped dramatically, right? why can't we take a page out of that book somehow, some way, apply it here? It don't have to be the National Guard, but it just seems like the power was in numbers, right? Even when you go on vacation, you go to places like Dominican Republic, Colombia.
I go to Hawaii. I don't know about you.
Well, I don't know if they do. I've never been to Hawaii, but in some of those places, they have armed guards in the places where tourists are, and nothing ever happens. Is it really as simple as that? And maybe because when you look at the violence, right, it's been continuous for decades in the same neighborhoods over and over and over, right? And I mean, come on, is it really that difficult? What's the problem? How do we fix it?
Well, I'm a sociologist by training, so forth. So I'm going to go global, then I'm going to go local, and I'm going to go all that real quick. Just give me like a good minute and a half. It's really interesting. Do people know that in London that the cops don't have guns?
Wow.
They don't have guns. They never have guns. You know what I mean? Right. But that's how, the sociological ways of how people look at policing is very different in other places. Another thing is that in Kennesaw, Georgia, I'm not sure people realize this. Kennesaw, Georgia, 20 years ago passed a local ordinance. This is like, maybe an hour and a half, hour outside Atlanta, that every person in the house, any person in Kennesaw, Georgia, in this town must have a gun. In the house, registered. This is what the local city council did, all that other stuff, right? Do you know crime plummeted like 85%?
And that's what I'm talking about.
This is in Georgia.
I didn't know that.
Plummeted. Kennesaw, Georgia. Look up Kennesaw, Georgia gun law, everybody. It plummeted 85% there. So for us, we got to start looking at these kind of solutions. Is it more police? Is it less police? Is it more youth programming? Is it less youth programming? We got to start looking at this as the guts of what this really is. We need to look at it as a solution. And what we've been doing is, putting putty on little things over the last 20 to 30 years about to make this thing happen. As you know, with the things in the 80s, stop and frisk and all that is tremendous. And a lot about the Len bias, crack cocaine, and all those other things, selling by a school zone, all those things have done detrimental things to the Black community and the Black family and the Black home. Mm-hmm. And those kind of policies are now still living out to this day, where we have the grandkids and the great grandkids living out those traumatic effects of all that. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to put that in the beginning of the discussion, and love to hear Sister's thoughts on this as well.
Go for it. You want to add something to that?
Yeah. So for me, I don't have a whole lot of knowledge, but for me, I feel like it starts in the home. There's a lot of absent men there. And then the mom, who's a single mother, she's working, she's doing everything. And so these young kids, they're going out and they're looking for like that father figure. So I have always been told, even when I was a teenager, when they form and get into these gangs, they're looking for family. Mm-hmm. They're looking for someone that they could relate to, talk to, do things with. And unfortunately, the things that they're doing are bad things, but at the end of the day, that's the main thing that they're looking for.
Right. I mean, money has been allocated in places where it's like, you're putting dollars over there. Why not just add more dollars over? I mean, it's the same communities every single year. We've been having gun violence in the same areas. But now we have gentrification too, and there's nothing going on in those areas. It's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, I know what the answer is, right? Or I know why that is. And it's simply because when you look at the bigger picture, which is probably a whole nother conversation you don't have time for, but the prisons are on the stock market. You know what I mean? So crime is actually profitable. Mm-hmm. That's the big picture.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting is that there's been an erasure of the kind of grassroots community-based organization that like drop a dime, all these kind of things, community drug and task forces and all that. There was money that was set aside in the Massachusetts state legislator and all these places to kind of get communities together to start pushing against all the things that are going on. All that money has evaporated. But also another thing that has happened to bring people community is that the rise of social media. A lot of people aren't joining these kind of neighborhood associations and getting together in groups and all that because of social media. Is it like they go to a community meeting, all right, and someone doesn't agree with their view, they walk out the meeting and put it on social media and get what? They get 250 likes. They're like, well, I went to that organization. They weren't feeling what I was feeling. Back in the day, we used to sit in those churches arguing with the NAACP, trying to sit together in a room for 3 days to develop a strategy. We have lost that resiliency of having a discussion and making concessions to have a unified front. Right now, we're all like, well, you know what? I'm done. I'll just go on my social media and have, 900 people like what my comment was and forward it and show how smart I am. Do you hear what I'm saying, Steve?
Yeah, I do. So if you were in charge, what would you do immediately to try and at least curb this, 90-80% at least? I mean, what would you do if you were in charge?
Well, first of all, you need to bring together people. You got to hear from the voices from the neighborhoods and the streets. All right. So I would have 3 town hall meetings to bring it in 3 different areas, Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan, to bring the community together. But also, the city has a lot of resources in play. You know what I mean? We have money that's sitting in escrow, whatever you want to call it, that we can draw on to look at these resources in the networks when we are in a fiscal crisis like today. So you know what? I would ask that and also find money and resources for the summer. $3 million is not a lot of money. Give $1 million to Dorchester, $1 million to Roxbury, $1 million to Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan, and have the community be able to sit down and devise a plan how to spend that money during the months of June, July, and August. It's not, we have the money. The money is not the issue.
May I say something?
Sure.
So this is another issue that I think, okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to say this without anyone getting offended.
Just say it.
Okay. Our people do not do the necessary things that they need to do in order for us to get the resources in our neighborhood. They're not signing no petition. They're not going to any meetings. They're not going downtown. All they're doing is sitting back, yapping, and that's it. So if you're not willing to fight for your community, you're not going to receive anything. When you go outside.
I'm saying the same thing, is that all those civic organizations have been evaporated, and people are now at tables saying, I think you're hitting the same point I'm saying. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a forever going conversation and problem. I mean, we've been talking about this for decades. The same stuff.
Same issue is because the people aren't doing anything. Our grandparents didn't do anything. My parents' generation, they didn't do anything. And my generation, me, myself, didn't do anything, but I didn't know I didn't know what I could do because I didn't see it in my own parents, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, when I moved from Dorchester to where I live, I've been out there for 20 years, right? I saw a different way of living. I didn't know people lived like that. I became very active in my children's schools. When it was time to vote what the town's going to do with their money, we were all there. But I learned that from another race.
And that's huge, what you just said. And that's very true. And that's how it is with a lot of our people. A lot of these kids don't know what it is to have grass in the backyard. or to leave the city of Boston and to go on vacation.
Or how about this, Steve? Even go on the other side of the red line past Park Street.
Right, right.
Geez.
And I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I grew up in Orchard Park. For me, going down Dudley Station was a big deal. That was it. For a long time, I never went past Dudley Station. Right. Finally, I go past Dudley Station. I was amazed at a lot of the things I saw.
I wasn't allowed to go down there.
Right.
My parents were so strict. Like they didn't want us going outside. We couldn't go outside the yard.
Right. Right.
They were like this. Don't open the door for nobody. All right.
Yeah.
Don't touch the microwave. Don't touch the stove.
My mom's back in the day used to go to. Sorry, Mom, I ain't putting your business out there. My mom's used to do the dog races, and that's exactly how it was.
What's that?
Don't open the door for the greyhounds.
Yeah, go up, jump on the blue line.
Right. Don't open the door for nobody. I remember one time we all went outside. My uncle came by to check up on us. Oh man, we got tore up when she got home.
I know. That's back in the day. That's when you was getting beat with a switch.
That's the other part.
Don't touch the stove.
Yep.
Don't open the door.
All of that.
You got cereal and you got peanut butter and jelly. That's your dinner.
Don't you pick up that phone and call anyone.
Right.
Hey, you guys, real quick. There wasn't no such thing as DoorDash.
No,
right, exactly.
No.
Right, tell these kids I'm gonna just DoorDash on my mom's car. No, what?
There was no social media, no cell phones, man. Totally different time, man. But listen, I know you got to go, man. I want to thank you for coming on, jumping on for the time you've had today, and I look forward to having you back too, man.
Oh, definitely, and definitely with these two wonderful brains and love for the community. I want to thank you just being that and so forth. But just to let everybody know is that there was a press conference. I was there in Nubian Square. Brother Rennie Muhammad was there. Stephen Wilson, Kurt Faison, other people were also there with Reverend Poe Pepper, who is our city councilor, and also Brian Rowell. Just talking about some of the violence that just happened, but also solutions and what has been happening. You saw Jonathan Gates was out there yesterday with a group of maybe like 40 men that were walking the streets. Showing people,
was out there.
Yeah, all of them out there, the whole team. But just to show that folks that we care and we'll be present in the communities. And just want to shout out Brother Steve Wilson and all the brothers that showed up yesterday, and they plan to do it next Monday as well. So, I was driving in the car doing it. I was like this, but I need to get out there. All right. So, all right. So good to see everybody.
All right. Thank you, man. As
God
always,
bless
man.
You.
Enjoy the weather.
Hold on. Let me get a pick. I got to pick all of us. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 8. All right. It's on social media.
Man. All right. Enjoy, man. Yes. Right, yes, indeed. That was Chip Greenidge from Greatest Minds. Great brother, man. Always doing good work in the neighborhoods and especially in the schools, HBCUs, and all of that. So yeah. So again, before we get back to dating, just to with the violence, man, I just think again, man, I don't know why we can't take a page or a little bit of something out of everything that works. Obviously, those things work. Why not put all the money there?
Yeah.
And obviously with the gentrification in some of these neighborhoods, they're not having the issues anymore, and it shouldn't have to go to that extreme, but it just says a lot.
Yeah.
It just says a lot. Like it's a, trying to curb it. I think it is an easy thing to do.
It is.
It's a very easy thing to do. But the politics of it, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
It'll never happen due to the politics of all of that, man. That's
Steve,
just my opinion.
See, Steve, you just spoke. You said never.
Right. Right. I'm going to take that back.
That's right. We rebuke that.
All right. It will happen one day. And again, you go to places like Dubai.
Yeah.
They don't have crime there. There's no crime there. There's no trash on the streets. Certain places, why is it so difficult for us to make it happen? And like I said earlier, I think part of it is because, crime is profitable.
You also have to realize in other countries, they don't have the freedom to do all the things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that plays a huge factor in it.
Yeah. Yep. Talking about the violence in Boston, y'all. How do we stop it? You know, how do we, you know, for me, again, when I go back to those National Guard in DC back then, you know, in having the conversation about that, some folks were like, man, no, it's just wrong. We don't want that. We don't want that. But isn't one life worth saving?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's going to save, if it's going to save multiple lives, why not do it?
Wow.
Again, when you go on vacation, you see the armed guards in certain places.
That's true.
And nothing happens.
Yeah, because they're always on standby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We dare you to buck up. But anyways, all right, let's get back into dating real quick because we was on such a
I tell you one thing, I can't wait to start dating.
You can't wait to start dating.
No,
because you got all the answers now.
Well, I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 years. So
yeah,
I'm so ready to start dating. But, you know, with my own values and the things that means a lot to me, like I have to be divorced before I can really get out there and start dating.
Right.
So I'm living by God. So therefore, I have to be patient and wait and work on me. So before, like all these years, 34, my son is 34, just turned 34. So for 34 years, it's been about my family, not me, just my family. That was number one. So now it's like, it's me. And like, oh my gosh, so what do I do now? So my friend's been telling me, go out by yourself. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of a woman going out by herself?
I think a lot, not necessarily women, but I do think a lot of people in general end up going out by themselves, you know?
So I have not done that yet, but I'm going to try.
So with that being said, all right, let's talk about that because you're available, of course, and you will be out there in them streets. You're gonna be out there now
in a different way.
In a different way. Right. I'm not saying, of course. So vultures are still out there now.
I know. So I heard it's terrible.
So what do you do? You know, because you do want to date. How are you gonna go about doing that so that you don't end up with the wrong person? You don't want to make any mistakes, and you've learned a lot from the marriage.
Yeah.
And so you're a better person today.
Yeah, but I learned more, not just from my marriage, but I learned more from what the Word of God says. God tells you about relationships. And how am I going to know? Well, God told me specifically, whoever that person is for me, I don't need to look. That person is going to come and find me. And that person is going to speak some words. I'm not going to say what the words are. You have to go in the Bible and get that out. But that person is going to come to me and know that I am their wife, you know, and they're going to come and speak some words to me. I can't wait for that day because I'm marriage material.
Right.
I love being married. And you know, being in the game is really not me, you know. So it's just been a lot of years. And when I tell you that I've been going through this marriage, RAW, I have. And so I'm just ready to get out there and just to have fun, discover who I am, and get back to the things I used to do. You know, I used to, I was a designer doing fashion shows and doing vending, doing other shows and vending and all that other stuff. And traveling, I used to travel every 2 months to somewhere different just to go hang out and party. Like, so I'm going to get back to doing some of those things. You know, I'm not the same person.
Now, I will say this. I have traveled by myself.
You have?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Where did you go?
Oh, the first spot was Dubai.
Oh
man,
that's why you can sit here and talk about Dubai doesn't have this, Dubai doesn't have that.
Right. Yeah, but no, that was the first time I went somewhere. I was actually supposed to go with somebody and something, Anyways, I'm glad I went by myself because man, I had such a great time. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait a minute. Dubai is not on my list, but not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I have been told that men who are like mid 50s, 60s are going to these other countries like Colombia, Thailand, the DR to get with women, what they call escorts.
Okay.
Because it's cheaper than dating.
Now you start in trouble. Now you start in trouble.
Oh my God.
You're doing so well.
And
I'm just playing.
Listen, and the ones that are out there doing that, they better be careful messing around with the 30-year-olds because they can still have babies, right?
So what does that say, right? If a man has to leave the country to go get peace.
No, wait. That's not peace.
Why isn't that peace?
They leaving a country to go get sex, not peace. It's purely sex because they said, I've been told that they can spend $1,000 if they take out 3 or 4 women, that's $1,000 taking them out. But then in the end, all they get is a kiss on the cheek.
Here in Boston.
Yeah. But then they can go to these other countries, which ends up being like a vacation for them, spend $200, and have all the fun they want to have. And then come back home as if nothing happened.
That's peaceful. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
That's crazy.
But I mean, to be on vacation and be somewhere in an environment where,
they purposely
you're being loved or whatever you want to call
There's
it.
no love. Lust.
So now let's dig into that a little bit more.
Lust.
let's dissect
That's
that.
Not good. Lust.
Okay.
Lust is dangerous. You're too much into the flesh. That's what that is.
Lust can definitely be dangerous. It's gotten a lot of people in trouble.
And I've been told by a man that he said that men are sexual creatures. So it's all about the sex first.
Yeah, I can.
Is that
I'm not going to say it's all about it ain't all about the sex first with me because I've learned a long time ago that's the easiest thing in the world. So that don't need to be number 1 on my list.
Okay. Well, it's number 1 on many lists because if they're traveling just to go get some sex, I feel bad for them. And I feel bad for that young girl because it's kind of like taking advantage,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
And where does it leave
it's
that
just
girl?
How you said that. I feel bad for that young girl. Like,
Yeah.
Now, all right, let me tread lightly here because, let's just back it up just a little bit and come back to that only because I don't want to lose track of dating. But, how do we go from here to having to travel to those islands? How did that happen? How did we get there in the first place?
Well, I know like this age category, mid 50s to 60, 64 probably. But prior to them, even when I was younger, I used to hear that the older men like in their 70s would go out of the country and get with these women. Not in the Philippines. Okay. And then they talk about how great, and I know someone personally and that has done that and actually moved over there once he retired. He felt like those women were better than us. But those women are yes, 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 yes.
So
They cater to the man. So they don't have they don't really voice like their own feelings. They just cater and do what the man tells them to do.
Again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to say it. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but you got to be able to take a little bit of everything. If you ask me, you got to be able to take a little bit of everything that makes a man happy to understand peace. Because you said just now, yes, 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 they cater to the man. And I think that's the part that's missing in a lot of relationships. A lot of women don't cater to their man.
Yeah, but the man also not doing what they supposed to do, so the woman will want to cater to the man.
So we're gonna get to that. I'm not gonna lose focus on that, right? But I think first to understand men is to understand why, how, and then I think we can get to some of the other things, but the other part of that is like men need to do this. One, first of all, we're talking about good men and we're talking about good women. Mm-hmm. Now, if you got a man that's just out here doing this and that, all right, you got the wrong guy, period. Mm-hmm. Let's not even talk about that. Right. He wasn't the right guy from the get-go. Mm-hmm. So let's not talk about him. Let's talk about the good woman and the good man.
Yes.
Right? Because that person is that person, whether he's a man or even a woman. So I just think to understand men clearly, you have to take all those things and you got to listen. You got to really listen to the guy, because I feel like as men, we always give you the answers. We always tell you how we feel, but often it's reversed. You feel that way because of this. You feel that way because of that. Well, then you should stop doing this and you should stop doing that. Okay, let's get back to that. But did you hear what the guy said?
Yeah,
did you comprehend?
That's when we get lost. We get lost right there.
Right. Women don't often comprehend what he's saying and what's bothering him. And then as that continues to happen, he continues to move the way he's going to move because I give up. You know what I mean?
That sounds like mine. Yeah, my husband used to say the same thing, but he was still doing the same.
And I haven't talked to him.
So
we haven't talked.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's common in so many relationships.
I think it's very common.
I think is I think the man should go to that woman and like sit her down and let her know that you're coming from a good place and this is how you're feeling, so that she knows that you're serious about what you're saying. But that doesn't always happen. Like you might just speak words out loud, but the woman don't take that seriously because you just spoke it out loud like it, but you didn't really talk to her about it. Let her know it's a big issue for you. Let her know that if this doesn't happen, I'm afraid that it's going to push me away from you, but the men don't speak up like that. You guys don't do that. You just say whatever out loud and then that's just it.
In general, most men aren't the greatest communicators.
Right.
Or they're the greatest communicators, but when it comes to their partner, they're not the greatest communicator. Because they get lost somehow in trying to communicate their things. And I just think knowing your man, you would better understand that we're pretty easy. Every man does not come with a list of demands in terms of being hard to understand and live with. We're very, very simple. You can count them on your hand in terms of, if you want your relationship to last, number one, you got to understand your man. You have to understand
but
your
he
man.
has to open up to the woman, to his spouse. Because you have a lot of men that don't open up. They don't really tell them their feelings. But then they can go and have a female friend or whoever else and just blur everything out to them, but don't tell the spouse that, you know? So it's a communication problem.
So then what is it in that other person where they feel comfortable enough to open up to that person, but not open up to you?
I think it's a cop out, to be honest with you. It's just their choice. It's a choice.
See, I hear that, but I don't think it's as simple as that. I think if they're able to open up to someone else and not open up to you, there's something there.
Well, it may be something there, but at the end of the day, whatever.
Or maybe they tried.
Yeah, that too. They may
Right.
have tried, but maybe they didn't try in the right way for that woman to receive it. Just like you said the woman must know her man.
Mhm.
The man must know his woman. It goes both ways.
It does, but I think oftentimes that's where the problem is too, because if you really look at it, although it goes both ways, the problem is it usually lies on the man, right? So let's go there and try and fix that. I feel like we're in therapy session.
Hey, life is therapy.
Right,
Hello.
right. It is. But if it starts with the man, why not? Okay, this is where it starts. So let me just get on this island right here and try and figure this out instead of doing the back and forth where, well, the man got, because no, I hear that all the time, especially when we do our R&B relationships. From a man's perspective, I always hear that. Well, a man got to do this too. Well, if a man want peace, he got to give peace, and that's how it is.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It goes hand in hand. It
does, but the point I'm trying to make is that men are easy, and although it goes hand in hand, someone has to give in to the point where, all right, I'm going to listen to everything you say, and I just want to focus on you. I want to hear everything you say, and I want to understand everything you say, and I want to respond to everything you say that's bothering you, and I'm going to work hourlessly to try and fix that.
Okay, so after you listen for hours, did you put it into action? Because that was, in my relationship, that was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted was some time, just time. He was very selfish with his time, but he would get it twisted, thinking that because he was a great provider, he didn't have to put the time in. That's not marriage. It all works together, you know? And so where you're sitting back and you're saying like, I just want some peace. Just give me some peace, right? But at the same time, are you giving her some peace? Probably not. That's why she keeps coming at you, because she don't have peace herself. So both of you guys aren't really satisfying each other.
So at that point, you're at a point where it was already lost.
It got lost
because if you're saying you got to give her peace, okay, you're deep in it at that point. Somewhere where it got lost for the first time, it was not addressed. That's how I feel.
That's why God says you don't go to bed being angry,
right?
Because you allow that door to open, and then Satan comes in and he just separates you more and more and more and more. Okay, so at the end of the day, if we're not paying attention to what, first of all, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship, right?
Oh, by no means at all. You're right.
But everyone has their own belief. But if you follow the guideline of what God says in his words about relationships, and you're really being real and true from your heart, you can't go wrong. You know, you're gonna at some point have some disagreements, but you're gonna handle it differently. you know?
Right.
And I just feel like when people go into these relationships, especially marriage, like for me, I went into the marriage like if my husband commits adultery, I'm gonna forgive him. I never told him that. I never spoke those words to anyone, not even my best friend. But yeah, he's committed adultery a few times. However, I forgave him and still took him back. Still took him back. While other people are telling me, oh, you should have never done that. But then 10 years later, he left again. So at the end of the day, what does that say about me? Why did I even allow that, right? Well, for the simple fact that I believed in our marriage. I did love him unconditionally. I wanted our family together, regardless of what was going on. But I realized today that the choices that we both made, it hindered our children mentally. And they held that in for years, and then it just exploded. And so we did more damage than good by staying together, and instead of just walking away from each other years ago, you know. But I still feel like it still goes both ways. It's the communication. The communication isn't there. It's not there. A person can go to someone else and talk, but you have to realize that you're not obligated to that other person. So therefore, your conversation and how you feel with that other person, like you were saying that, well, if he goes and talk to someone else, is a reason why he can talk to her and couldn't talk to you. Okay. It's going to be different because you're obligated to this person, but this other person, you're not.
Right.
That's just a friend.
I think communication in a relationship period is one of the most important things. You got to be able to talk, but you also got to be able, that part we talked about again, listen, and not just listen, but listen to understand.
Right.
Because if you don't understand, then you're listening, those same mistakes are going to keep happening.
Right.
You know, and I think that's just a big problem. And even in doing the shows, even doing these shows, R&B relationships, I feel like a lot of the stuff we talk about, women hear, but they're not listening to understand.
We don't really take it in.
Right.
And
then the problem repeats.
The reason why we don't really take it in is because we really don't understand. See, you just state what it is, but you don't go into and explain, you know? So we really don't understand.
Communications again. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So do you understand peace now? Do you understand peace now?
A
little bit more.
A little bit more. Before I didn't understand when he spoke that word peace.
Right.
Sataris, I just want some peace. I didn't know what that was. I had no idea. As far as I was concerned, like he just didn't want me around.
I remember. So Mel, shout out to Melly B. So Mel used to do the show, and I remember when I first mentioned that on the show, I talked about peace, and she went crazy.
Really?
I'm so tired of peace, and if a man wants peace, and I'm like, see that right there? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Peace. That's what we don't want.
Yeah, when you said that.
But she was just, explaining her feelings about it. Well respected. But it was that demonstration right there is what we kind of talk about, the rah, I don't want to use the word nagging to say women that nag, but some women can be nagging about the same things over and over again. I just think
but that was me. But I didn't feel like I was nagging because if you're doing the same thing, I'm going to come back at you because you're doing the same thing. If I'm saying to you, okay, I feel neglected. You spend more time outside the house doing what you want to do, but there's no time for me. 17 years, I've been complaining about the same doggone thing. 25 years. So I'm going to say 20 years. The same doggone thing. Time. Give me just a day. Give me a half a day. Do it for a week or two. Then he right back to what he was doing, which is just himself, as if I just don't even exist.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, it still goes both ways. Like, you can have peace, just work with me, give me a little bit of what I'm asking for,
Okay.
and then you can have peace.
All right. So I want to switch it up now because I've been talking about, from a man's perspective. So talk to me from a woman. Help me understand some things now from a woman's perspective.
All right. So
that men may not understand. Maybe I can help through it. You know what I mean?
so for a woman, like we will tell you what's some women. I'm very open. So I if something's wrong with me, I'm definitely going to tell you. So some women, if they come to you and they tell you, this is bothering me, okay, but then you don't do anything about it, and then you're still continue to do what you're doing. And so a woman would take a lot and they will hold it in. Some may hold it in, some may just still be verbal, right? But at some point, that woman's going to shut down. She's going to shut down. And then you're not going to have a good relationship, because now she's not really communicating with you. Even like the complaining, she's not really communicating with you, or she's just going to keep communicating and complaining, and it's just constant arguments over and over and over. It just never stops. Like he would say, Sataris, you like to argue, but Steve, I really don't. I hate arguing. But I argue all the time, but it's about the same doggone thing. So it's like I feel like I felt trapped. I'm in this marriage, or you in this relationship, but your spouse isn't really taking care of you. He's not making you happy. So therefore you're just dealing with a whole lot of stuff. And then at some point, the man is going to disconnect, and there's a large open space there. And I just feel like a lot of women just feel like they get to that point, and then they don't know like really what to do, because you said that we need to listen, but you all need to listen too. And
True.
so
That's definitely true.
Yeah, so it goes both ways, and then secondly, for a woman, I know women are more likely to deal with a lot of stuff more than men, which really isn't, I think is a flaw for us, because we take a lot. We take a lot. And so the big thing I would say about us women is we want you all to listen to us and take us seriously. Take us seriously. Give us a little bit time, just a little bit, and make it in consistencies. It's not always consistent. The man would say yes, they'll do it for a few weeks, and then they bounce right back, right? But a woman wants consistency, just like she gives to you. And so I think that if both parties are pleasing each other, taking the time to really listen to each other, I think the relationships would be better.
Now, sometimes all those things you might want might not be easy for a man to give.
Like what?
I'm just saying in general. What if, for example, you talked about time. Of course, if you're married or you're in a relationship, you always want to give time. But sometimes, and I'm not saying this is your case, but I'm just saying, for example, let's just say, you worked 8 hours, or whatever it is. You had a long day. Whether it's construction, whether you're an electrical worker, those guys work. I mean, plumbers. I don't know what kind of job. It could be an office job. You know, let's say you had a long day work, you're hungry, you're tired, and you only got so much time to give afterwards. I'm not saying that's the case, and it could be something else, totally different. You want to give all those things. What if he's just not capable? What if a person's not capable of that? I mean, that's a possibility.
How do
too.
you not be capable? Explain that to me.
I'm just saying in general, not.
You said it though. How is a person not capable?
What if a person, you ask 5 different things? What if he's not capable in giving all 5 of what is out of the 5 things? Maybe he can only address 3 of them.
Okay, so then he tells her that.
Yeah.
He tell her that. Again, it's communication. You know, first of all, when a woman loves you, they're gonna stand.
And he may not even know. He can't provide those. You know what I'm saying?
Well, again, if he can't, then he should tell her that. And it doesn't lower him, you know. He just can't at that time, you know, which is understandable. But again,
you want to go on vacation.
Yeah, I wanted to go on vacation. You don't talk about vacation. I was supposed to go to Aruba for our 20th anniversary. Oh, okay, let me tell you. He went with the mistress. So, you know.
Oh, see, I was trying to pull that out.
Yeah. So it goes both ways, Steve. It goes both ways.
It does.
Both ways.
It does. But, and I'm just, again, now I'm back to a man's perspective. It goes both ways. But I just feel that a majority of the time, right, men are so misunderstood in terms of, and again, we're very simple. We don't ask for a lot.
Black men,
yeah.
Especially.
Yeah, we don't ask for a lot. We don't ask for a lot. So it shouldn't be hard to address our needs. That's what I feel. I don't ask for a whole lot at all. I know I don't ask for a lot.
Well, that's you. That's you. But there are some men out there. They may not ask for a lot, but they have a lot of needs. But not with not with the same woman. That's basically what it boils down to.
Simple needs.
What is simple?
Simple needs.
Like
sex.
See, that's
food.
Not simple.
That is a simple need.
That is not simple.
Why?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not simple.
Sex is not a simple need.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Please explain.
It's not a simple need.
Please explain. Please explain.
You have to. Let me tell you something. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this real. All right, you ready? I don't know how much I can say on here, but I'm gonna
don't swear.
I won't. I won't swear. So you say sex is simple.
It's simple need.
It's not always simple for the woman. Okay. The woman has to take something. Take what the man is giving her. All right. That takes a lot out of a woman. A whole lot out of a woman.
Okay.
All right. And then the same amount of time that you put in to have sex, right, is the same amount of time that you can just give to that woman. Quality time without the sex, you know, but that doesn't happen because it's too much, because you just need peace. You know, you worked all week, you're tired, you just want to go do this and that, but it's not with the spouse. And sex is not simple. If it was, then why do men go out and have many different many sex partners?
Well, those are different types of men. Those are different types of men that in the beginning, I just feel like when you're picking a guy in the beginning, well, let me back up a little bit, because a man may not necessarily be that way in the beginning. But I think for the most part, men and women that are that way, you already know. The signs have been there. And I think prior to, most people already know. Although there are men that know they're not like that in the beginning.
Touch base on that. Like, they're not like that in the beginning, but then they turn into that. Like, what makes a man turn?
That is a good question. That is an excellent question. What makes a man turn? Oh man, do we have enough time? Do we have enough time? Oh my God.
What's the main thing?
And by the way, folks, you're welcome to chime in on the conversation. 617-238-7811.
Can you
I'm sorry,
educate us?
7111 7111. 617-238-7111. That's the number if you want to chime in on the conversation. We're just talking about dating. We're talking a little bit about some of the stuff we discussed on Sunday when we did relationships from a man's perspective. My special guest and co-host, Sutaris. Yeah, want to welcome her, and she's being very open about her experiences.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, again, this could we could talk all day about.
I know it's so many layers.
There's a lot of different layers, but I just think overall, men are simple. We are simple creatures.
I agree.
Very
with
simple.
that. Some men, though, you have some men are worse than women. Some very little, but not a lot. I would say you guys are simple. My husband was simple. It didn't take much for him. He's a very, very laid back person. But
so I got it back before you get to the but. I mean, if you know he's simple, what happened? And we'll answer this call and then we'll come right back to that. Good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to the Urban Heat. Who's this?
Hey, Steve. This is Shotgun Sandy.
Shotgun Sandy. How you doing?
Shotgun Sandy. Hi.
I'm great. How are you? And how was the guest today?
Very good. Very good. Always got the gun in the back.
Well, my question is for you, Steve.
Yep.
So in the beginning, you guys get it right. And we want to know what happened. Because in the beginning, you know, all the right things to say and how to get the woman. But then once you get in the relationship, what happens? What changes? What happens to the communication?
Right. I think that's
what happens.
I think that's an excellent question. I think what happens is I think people get comfortable. I think the real side of those individuals come out because now you get to see this person on a regular basis, on a normal basis. I don't know. Maybe not enough time was spent prior to the move-in or the marriage. I don't know. But something definitely changes, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And I think that just comes with time. You know, mask end up falling off. You know, you end up you end up seeing the real person that, you know, oh, now they don't look the same. Oh, this is really you. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of those things is probably what happens. I mean, specifically, I can't say, but you know, that's why time is important. You know, you can't rush into anything. You have to take the time. You have to move accordingly, especially today.
Yes.
But today with social media and all the other stuff in the music, things speed right up. There's no taking time. You know?
Yeah.
Let's just get right to it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just my main concern is the communication because guys, they know how to say everything. They just know how to say everything in the beginning, and then you get in a relationship, they claim that men don't communicate the same as women. So I'm confused on it all. I just want to know what happened.
Yeah. I think in the beginning the hormones.
And you're not a challenge anymore.
Right.
You're not a challenge anymore.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Sandy.
All righty. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. 617-238-7111. If you want to chime on in, if you got a story you want to tell us, let us know. We're talking about relationships, dating, all of that. You know, what's the problem? We love each other. I love you. You love me. But we can't get it right. Why? What happened? You know, we met. Everything's all gravy. It's good. Now we move in together. Issues.
Obligations. The challenge isn't there anymore. You know, so I feel like.
But with that being said as well, you see what's out here.
Nothing.
The pool, there is so much piss in the pool. There's a lot of piss in the pool. The chlorine ain't getting it out. And that's the issue too. There's a lot of cases people are in good relationships. They leave that. Now you can't find nothing like what you just had. And you can't, damn, why did I leave that lady? Or why did this lady leave that man? And you know.
Well, that's what I've been told. I've been told that he's going to eventually regret that he divorced me. But with that being said, I just think that you have two people, and at some point, someone changes, or they both change, right? And so now they're seeing things differently, and they're just getting further and further apart. But I still come back to the communication, because as they're getting further and further apart, I don't understand why someone does not come in and say, we need to sit down and have a talk. We need to figure out what is going on between us, why, and be honest. The honesty isn't always there either. And see if you can work on it. And a lot of men, you know what? They don't want to go to marriage counseling. They don't want to go. And then some of them, when they do go, their heart really isn't in it. They're just wasting time. But you're not getting anything out of it because you're not being real with yourself, So if you tell a lie, you can't fix a lie.
Right.
So I just feel like, it's still the communication. Because if you're starting to feel a certain way about me, and your love is different for me, I wish he had a, I wish he could have said something to me, because then I would have been like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to change. Whatever I need to do to make this relationship work, I would have done that, right? But that didn't happen. And not just in my situation, I think this in a lot of people's relationship, that the other person whose feelings are changing towards the other one, don't go to that person and say, my feelings are starting to change, and this is the reason why,
Right.
Because sometimes us women, we don't realize that when you say something, like you said, we don't listen, and we don't always listen. We hear you, but we don't always listen. But we don't realize that you're really serious about certain stuff.
I think
until it's too late.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of the problem. A man will always tell you what's bothering us, but I think one of the things women got to stop doing is saying, well, you feel that way because of this. Well, then you need to stop doing this. Don't stop diverting. I think a lot of women got to stop redirecting what was just said and take in what your partner is telling you, because
but it's about owning, taking responsibility. So when she says, well, it's because of this, you do this and then this happens. Okay, so you're not taking responsibility for what she's saying, that it's because of this. It's a cause and effect. So you do something, it's going to affect something. But then you don't want to hear the mouth going, but you're still doing what it took for her to come to you and fuss about.
And here's the other thing I think women got to understand. Just like when a woman is done, she's done. When a man is done,
he's done.
He's done. He's done. And a lot of times, he ain't going nowhere. That ain't going nowhere. And you think so?
Right. You don't know.
You keep doing in due time.
Yeah.
In due time, it happens all the time. You gotta, pay attention to the signs.
Yeah.
Because I know with me, when I was done, I was done.
You have had it.
And once upon a time, nobody could tell me nothing. I was in love, and boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Nobody could tell me nothing.
How do you feel now?
But when that time was done and over with, it was done and over with, and I was all set. Good morning, welcome to the Urban Heat, or good afternoon, I should say. Who's this?
Hey, how you doing, Steve? It's me, Flex the Iceman. Just calling to give you a shout out, and also my dear friend Sartorius.
Hi,
and
Flex.
I love the content today.
All right. What's good with you? How you doing, man?
Good. I don't want to say my government name, so I just use that.
Hey, what are your thoughts on the conversation, man? Anything you want to add to it?
Oh, extraordinary, well needed. It's I'm kind of like some Sartorius in the same situation. Gone through a lot, 20-year marriage, going through a crazy divorce. And it boils down to, let me catch my breath. I just ran up the stairs. Hold on. Being 50-something is different now.
Oh, man.
All right. So what I wanted to add to the conversation from the male side of things is, once again, it is communication and accountability. And people change. Unfortunately, it could be health situations, financial situations. People change, and that communication has to be in the forefront. And then from that point on, everyone's agendas also change too. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, with our past traumas, that is an also thing of, how we've been raised with our families and what we saw in the past, in the households. If there were two parents, one parent, that also has a key ingredient in the success of the marriage, I think. So there's a lot more I could say, but I won't hold you. I just want to appreciate the conversation, and
all right.
I appreciate both of you guys sharing now.
Well, thanks for your phone call, man. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
Miss you, bro.
Carry on.
All right, man. Enjoy the weather.
All right.
Yep.
All right, talk to you.
Yeah, great stuff right there.
So he's 20 years, 20 years in his marriage, and he's going through a divorce, and it's been lingering on longer than what he wanted. But and actually he didn't want the divorce. He wanted to work it out. So that's an example, like that it's not always it's not the woman, sometimes it's the man. So sometimes the woman wants the divorce, you know, and some people want it, like he wanted to work his marriage out. He wanted to. I wanted to work mine out, but the other person didn't. So if both parties don't want to work it out, there's nothing you can do about that.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, do something before it gets to the point where one side has checked out.
But that's the thing. People check out before they let you know that they've checked out. But at the end of the day, if the communication is still the communication, like, because when you see that you're starting to feel that a certain way, and you're starting to get away from your spouse, why not go and tell your spouse that? You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, you continue to keep going on, and then you're further and further away from your spouse. So the communication still is not there.
I think sometimes it's ignorance on both sides.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not doing this. Well, forget him then, or forget her then. It does get like that in arguments and relationships, and I think that's part of trying to, the reason why some issues can't get solved in the beginning, because it's a tug of war. This person wants to be right. Oh no, I'm not doing this. She's not going to get, that it's a lot of that. But when it's like that, it hurts both sides, because at that point you become that much closer to checking out. Well, somebody's getting closer to checking out, so we could go on and on and on with this. And we do have a few minutes.
You were talking about arrest. Love and arrest.
Oh yeah,
So
love under arrest.
under arrest, right? So,
have you ever been in a situation?
No, but I know of people,
Mm-hmm.
and the laws that are here in Massachusetts are not the same in other states. So down in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, like how they say here in Massachusetts, this is a woman's state,
Mm-hmm.
right? Georgia is not like that. So they will arrest the woman too,
Mm-hmm.
and the man, of course. But there has been times where, well, actually, I almost got arrested. Let me say that I almost got arrested.
Who called the
one time.
police?
My husband. Can you believe that mess?
Okay.
I almost swore. This dude called the police because I was driving behind him. He didn't want me to know where he was living. All right. Like literally, you know, I'm behind you. It's not like I'm cars and cars. You know, I'm behind you. Really, I was just doing it to aggravate you. But he called the freaking police and he drove back to the house.
Right.
And so when I got back to the house, the police were already there waiting for me. I almost got arrested because they told me to go in the house. I didn't want to go in the house. I'm in my yard. Why can't I just stay in my yard?
Mm-hmm.
And so they threatened me. If I don't go in the house, they're going to arrest me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he's going to call and tell me, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it would get like that. So I'm just like, what the, why would you call the police on me? I just thought that was just like so low, because I would never call the police on him under any circumstance. But you called the police on me because you're trying to protect where you're going. And and I was just really doing it just to aggravate him because he didn't do something that needed to be done at the house. And I was annoyed that the fact that this man that is supposed to be my husband is living somewhere and I don't even know where. Didn't know what was going on.
Well, I wasn't trying to pull all that out, but
that's okay. I told you I'm an open book.
Right. Yeah, love under arrest. We talked about that on Sunday. Shout out to EJ Eric Jones, who told his story about being arrested and taking it to trial. He was found not guilty, of course.
Oh, they went to court.
Yeah, they went to court, went to trial and everything. And the crazy thing about the situation, it never happened. So in Massachusetts, I had a situation myself. I won't go into detail about it, but whenever, they arrest the man and the state takes over, whether your partner shows up or not, you have to defend yourself. And you're talking about serious charges going on your record for things that didn't happen. I just think it's crazy that an individual anywhere can be allowed to call the police, make up something that never happened. The other person gets arrested and he has to defend himself. That's crazy.
They have no proof. They can get you arrested with no proof.
Yeah, with no proof.
Yes.
And then, being found not guilty.
Yeah.
So what happens to the person that lied?
Nothing. So there's a situation with my son had years ago when his daughter was younger. The mom called and said that he drove by her house, slowed down, looked at her, and just accelerated off. Not true. It was my daughter's sweet 16th birthday. We were giving her this huge party. And my son was working at the time for FedEx, and he worked at night. He was upstairs in the room, sleep. And then she said in her report that he used my car to do it. Then it happened. We were in court for 2 years, 2 whole years behind a lie. And her own proof didn't even show what she stated in the report.
Yeah, I had to fight something. It was 6, 7, it might have been 8 months. 8 months. I had to get police reports and everything.
And nothing happened. Nothing happened. So I just think it's so terrible that people can just take advantage of the system. I also find it interesting that these young people who are in their 20s. So you have some of them that knows the system, like the back of their hand.
Right.
And it's terrible because the system isn't for that. And it's not funny. It's not nice to have someone arrested for your own selfish reasons.
And then you got to defend yourself. You got to lawyer up.
Yep.
And
it's terrible.
And a lot of times people can't afford the lawyers, but I got to tell you, got to be honest with you. Walking into any courtroom without representation, you're at risk.
Yeah.
You're at risk because I just think the system is set up against you if you're not represented.
Right.
Even in child support.
Yeah.
Even in child support, because I'm going to tell you, oh, man, even in child support, you got to get representation. It will cost you more than you can imagine without representation, even with child support.
Yeah.
So if you got it, you'll be better off. Just bite the bullet. You'll rather put the money there than paying more on the other end. So
yeah, it just variations so much.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna wrap it up for this afternoon. I want to thank you for coming in. We'll do it again next Tuesday.
I have one question.
Okay. What you
Last
got?
question.
Last question. Okay.
So can you tell me, Steve,
mm-hmm.
what is a healthy Black relationship?
What is a healthy Black relationship?
What does that look like?
In 2026? That's an excellent question. A healthy Black relationship, for starters, is two people together on one accord. Now that sounds easy, and when you think about it, it really should be. If you're looking for a relationship in today's world, 2026 social media, it's more about sex. If you follow it that way, being on one accord. If I want to move left, you support me on it. If you want to move right, I support you on your moves. That's number one. And just being, having the respect for one another. Being able and willing to listen and comprehend, not just hearing, but listening with comprehension and understanding. That's important. For me, you got to start right there in terms of a healthy relationship. Get it all out on the table. Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah, honesty.
We're together. What are we doing though? What kind of relationship is this? Right. Is this for play?
I wish that was said to me.
Yeah, especially today, you got to ask those questions. And STDs are up like a mother everywhere. And they don't talk about that enough here. So, if you want to prevent yourself from being in a bad relationship, you got to ask those questions. Especially at our age nowadays, I mean, ain't nobody got no time for games. Who got time? So what's good? What we doing? What we doing? What's this about? Right. Is it the bang bang or is it not? What's it about? Because, again, for me, like I said earlier, that's not number one on my list at all because that's the easiest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe back in the day, it's like, but not today. I mean, come on. It's the easiest thing in the world. And I there's just other things that are more important. If we're going to be spending all this time together, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So
how does that look?
We got to communicate.
And
honesty and have compassion.
And it's different for everybody.
Right.
It's different for everybody. So yeah, let's pick it up again. Let's pick it up. Maybe we'll just do a dating segment on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Y'all going out on dates this weekend? Let's talk about it next Tuesday. How about that?
Oh yeah. Well, am I included in that?
Yeah. If you go out on a date,
someone has to ask me out for a date.
Yeah. Come share your thoughts.
And I know I said this is the last question.
Go for it. We got time.
Okay. So we were talking about this earlier, but I answered the question, but I'm pointing it right back at you. what did you learn from your last relationship?
Woo, boy. What I learned. Oh, man.
First, wait. How long were you married for?
Oh, man. I got married young. I got married in my 20s.
Oh, I did too.
So, yeah, about the same time. Yeah, so long, it was over 30 years, 20 years.
Wow,
Yeah,
Steve.
long time.
You
Long
couldn't
time.
save it? Like 30 years? Oh my gosh.
Listen. Was it 30? Let me see. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was about that 30 something years.
Wow.
And that's why I said before, like when a man checks out, like when I checked out, I checked out. You know, I couldn't save it at that point. I was already gone mentally. Mentally.
Yeah.
I tried,
Yeah.
but
when you tried, was she trying to? Because it takes it takes both of you guys to try, not just one. Because that's what Mines did. He said he tried, but really, I didn't feel like he tried. Because how can you try by yourself?
For me, it had gotten to the point where, like what I mentioned a little while ago, where it was kind of like you're in a relationship. I ain't doing well. Forget him then. Well, forget her then. All right, well, I'm good. And it got. I just think a lot of it got to that point where it was like, all right, whatever. And that's kind of how it ended. To be honest, it was what it was.
So what did you learn?
What did I learn? What did I learn out of that? I think it taught me a little bit more in terms of, especially for the next relationship. I think I learned a lot.
Well, you got to tell me something.
I learned about what I would love in the next one, what I want out of the next one. You know what I mean? The direction and that for me, it would be more about me. Although if you're going to be in a relationship, it can't be that way.
Right.
But I'm going to be as far as my direction and where I want to go, I'm going to be in control of that, and I'm doing I'm doing me in terms of what direction I want to go in, what I want to do from every level, from investment to whatever, so that's one of the things, guns was blazing afterwards, for me. And what was the other question? It was a 2-part question, I thought. Yes, no?
Let me see. What did you learn from your last relationship? No, that was the only
That was
thing.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it takes two. It really does take two. But you have to be in control of yourself in terms of what you want. You can't always, you want to be able to give, but you also can't give to the point where you're not happy. Sometimes people will give, and they're not happy. You know what I'm saying? They're not happy. And I think a lot of folks do that. So you have to be able to, one, be happy with yourself first, right? That's number one before you can give to anybody.
And see, I'm learning that. I'm learning that now, because it's just always been about my family, and I lacked with myself.
Yeah, you want to take care of everybody,
right? So now,
and you can't.
I'm learning to take. I don't know what that means, though. I'm learning to take care of me, but I don't really know what that means. I guess one day at a time. I'm trying to figure out who I am now.
So you still going through it, basically.
Yeah. Like, what do I like to do? Like, I did discover one thing. I've been in Cali for the past few years, back and forth. I have been to 4 concerts in 2 years. I didn't know I like concerts.
Right.
But
and you're on this show. You're doing this show now.
Yes, I'm so. But this
will help.
Yes, and not only that, like, I just feel like, let's talk about how this came about. what was it, like a week, two weeks ago?
Yeah,
right?
Juneteenth.
Right, Juneteenth. I ran into you on Juneteenth, and I had not seen you. I don't know when. I don't know.
Long time.
Right. And so shortly after Juneteenth, I had my mom.
Hold up. Let's back up real quick too, because that long time, when I saw you, you remember what I said to you?
You told me that you still have the Bible I gave you.
Right.
And you know, when you said that to me, Steve, I have forgotten that I gave you a Bible. I'm a collector in my nonprofit. Right. I give these things out to people, but I have forgotten. But I specifically went and bought you a Bible just for you.
Listen, let me hold up. You ain't telling the whole. It wasn't just a Bible. It was a very nice Bible.
Oh.
It was an extremely nice Bible. I don't know what preachers carry, but this was a very nice Bible with my name on it.
Oh, I forgot I did that too.
My name was on it. I'll tell you. So I had to bring that up.
So he told, and my question to him was, I said, are you reading? Do you read it? Like, it's not just sitting there. He said, yes, I've been reading it. So that made me happy, because that's absolutely what I do with my nonprofit. And it's not just for the people who don't have a roof over their head. It's for everyone that I just come across. And my goal for Steve was, I just wanted him to get closer to God.
Right.
Get closer to God. And so shortly after that, I had my mom, and I was driving her to do her errands. And she was inside of a store, and I was tired. I was in a vehicle while she was shopping, and I had dozed off in the car. And when I woke up, I took my phone. I don't know how I saw this posting of Steve. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I saw it. I'm just going to give it all to God, period. I saw the posting that you posted saying something about you needed a person for the show. So I was like, I can do that. Like, I'm such a natural. I love to talk. I love people. Right. And so I sent him a message, and I said, oh, I'm interested, and then you called me. You called me right away. And then we started talking. You didn't know my history. And you were telling me how you had the show the day before with some of the artists throughout Boston. And I'm like, well, I'm one of them. I was in the group Chocolate Kisses. So if you were back in the day, you would know us. If you know all the other group, you knew us too. But we were the younger ones. We were little girls. But we made a name for ourselves. And so we started talking about that. And I was just giving him an update on me, how I'm very comfortable talking to people. Actually, my daughter tells me all the time, Mom, that's a gift. You got a gift. Everywhere you go, you make friends because you like to talk to people. And it just comes to me so naturally. So I believe, now it's a gift then, because everyone can't do that. And here I am today. And I just thank Steve for allowing me to have this opportunity. It gives me something to do with my time, and is actually something I like to do. Talk. It's perfect. It's a perfect match.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming in again. We'll do it again next week. And again, y'all, if you're going out on date this weekend, or even maybe today or the next couple of days, let's talk about it on Tuesday. All right.
Yeah. And that includes me too now.
All right. We're going to do it again.
Oh, what about you, Steve?
What about me?
Are you going out on a date?
Not tonight. Not tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. All right, we out, y'all. Urban Heat.
I'm not so into you that I'm gonna let my good years go by. Cause you laid it down and knocked it out like dominoes. That don't give you no permission. So pick me over when you know that I've been good. Why pull me in to push me out?